Hey y'all, I wanted to get on here. I was on live a couple of minutes ago and I have discovered Danielle cannot do with the distractions. I cannot do with the trolley trolls and nobody in the comment section getting wild. I can't do it. I can't focus like that. So I'm gonna try this again. In this version, I will probably post because I can stay focused. I can put it on subscribers only and not have to worry about the trolley trolls. So all day I've been hearing commentary about people moving when they hear God say move, when they hear an unction, an impression, the spirit telling them something, a feeling, an idea, right? A spark. I have been hearing like, if you feel that, just do it, right? Don't hesitate. Don't be slow to obey. Don't think about the how. Don't worry so much. And don't do none of that. If you hear it, you get an unction, you get an impression, just do it, right? Because slow obedience is disobedience. Negligent obedience is disobedience. Doing all of the things before, right? Be procrastinating, disobedience. And disobedience will block your blessings. So I wanted to get on here because I did not want the night to go by without me articulating this thought that I had earlier today. I was on a live this morning and they were talking about acceptance, affirmation, and approval. I refer to those three A's as the perfectionist pocketbook. It is the resources, it is the mask, it is the internal locus of control of somebody who deals with low self-esteem or perfectionism, right? We're seeking affirmation, approval, or acceptance, right? And so one of the things that I have been really challenged with this week is the idea of authenticity and being your authentic self under the umbrella that I am also one as a recovering perfectionist, a recovering people pleaser that seeks approval, acceptance, and affirmation. The confluence of which, what does that look like? What is the outcome? The outcome is I spent a huge portion of my life, of my time, of my existence, even in my time with God, trying to gain a level of acceptance and approval that for lack of a better term, I was performing for people all the time. I would dumb myself down. I would not say, I love big words. If you know me, I love big words. I wouldn't say big words. I would dress in all black. I like black with a pop of color. But I also like sparkles. I like big earrings. I like big jeans. I like big clothes. I like to be fly. I would tone all of that down because I'm like, hey, what if they don't like me? What if they don't accept me like this? So I spent a huge amount of time, effort, and energy trying to be a version of myself which I thought would be acceptable to other people. And I'm at a big age, right? So I might look young, but I'm at a big age, and I'm just now getting to the point where I am trying to be my authentic self. It is okay to be your authentic self. So if you're hearing this message, you agree with this message, it is okay to be your authentic self. Take time to find your authentic self, because this is the thing that I have learned, and no, I shouldn't say have learned. I am learning. No matter what you do, people that decide to not like you are going to decide to not like you. No matter what you do, you cannot control how someone perceives you. So why spend time, effort, resources, energy, mental space, and capacity trying to be something when if I decide not to like you or somebody decides not to like you, they're not going to like you anyway. You can be gracious, you can be loving, you can be kind, you can be giving, you can be all of that. And they'll say, she's fake, she's phony, she's not authentic, like we don't like her. You can be mean, cantankerous, ornery, and people, if they decide to like you, they'll be like, oh, she's just, she's a girl boss. Like, that's just her personality. You cannot control how you are perceived by others. I think we like to think that we can. But if somebody decides not to like you, they ain't finna like you. And there's nothing that you can do about that, which is why you have to get your affirmation, your approval, and your acceptance from your Heavenly Father. Now, I'm not saying you should go around being mean or go around treating people bad. No, because that's the antithesis of what we should do as people of God. But you also don't have to conform to anybody else's idea of who you should be. You don't. Give yourself the grace to be able to be who you are. Be your authentic self. If that means you're a little zany, that means you're a little strange. If that means you're use big words, if that means you like bright colors, if that means you're super creative, if that means that you are a little bit odd to other people, you're a little strange, a little different, that's okay. Because another YouTuber says this all the time, Bo Beginning. She says, your vibe, your tribe will find your vibe, right? Meaning the people who are tuned to your voice, the people that you are assigned to, the people that are supposed to be in your community, guess what? They are going to find you. And it's going to work. So your weird will match their weird. your quirkiness will match their quirkiness. The way you speak, they're going to hear it and like it. So you don't have to worry about any of that. And so, again, wanted to hop on here and stay focused and just encourage somebody to be their authentic self, their genuine self. If you don't know who that is, because I will also share that I spent years being a version of myself that I thought would be acceptable to other people. So there has been a time where I've had to take a personal inventory, an introspective look at what I like, what I don't like, the things that I care about, things I don't care about, things I had forgotten that I enjoyed, that I had to rediscover. You have to go through that process if you have been wearing a mask for a really long time, or you've been trying to dumb yourself down for a really long time, or you have been hiding for a really long time. You get disconnected with what you really are. You get disconnected from your authentic self because you're wearing a mask. You're wearing it's almost like you're a type and shadow of yourself, but you're not your real version because you're afraid to be that real version. Because if you are the real version and you're rejected, oh my God, they rejected me, right? Oh, I am rejected. I am not approved of. I am unacceptable, right? So if you've been in that space for a really long time, you have to take a moment to rediscover who you are. First step, look unto the Lord. Pray about it. Pray about it. Because the only person that knows who you are supposed to be, who are you crafted, uniquely, divinely inspired, wonderfully handmade by God person, the only one who knows that is God. So you have to go there. Now, this is me and as for me and my house, okay? I feel like you can only get that from the divine nature. You can only get that from God. Once you have that, you have free reign, approval to be exactly who God created you to be. Because you cannot be responsible for how other people perceive you. What one person finds acceptable is not going to be what somebody else finds to be acceptable. That's why we get so uncomfortable when we feel like acceptance is the goal, because the bar is always changing. The definition is always changing. If I go to one place, I might be acceptable to them, but I go somewhere else, I'm not acceptable to that group of people. And then I will say that I'm unacceptable. And that's just not the case. That just wasn't your people. So I think you need to take time to find your people as your authentic self, because they can only accept you as your authentic self. Anything else, you are going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to feel overlooked. You're going to feel like you don't fit in. You're always going to be trying to conform yourself to an idea that you think someone else has of you. And that's not fair to you. So, when I tell you I had to get that out, I came on live earlier and I had some little trolley trolls in there, and I get distracted, honey. I get distracted when the trolls come in. So I have to set my settings so that blocking the trolls until I get some moderators. But I pray that this helped you. Again, if you didn't get anything else from anything I said, I would encourage you to it is okay to be your authentic self. Acceptance, approval, and affirmation can only come from God. Acceptance, affirmation, and approval can only come from God. Lastly, if you don't know who your authentic self is, seek God. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and his righteousness, and all these other things will be added unto you. Okay? I pray that you have a blessed night. I pray that you have an amazing night. I pray if you watch the replay that this will bless you, because I'm going to, and hold me accountable, guys. If you see this on a replay, if you're one of my subscribers, if you appreciate this, listen, hold me accountable and be like, okay, I see you. You being your authentic self. The big words came out. The hair was popping. The sparkles are sparkling. Like, that's you. That's the real you. Hold me accountable. Some of my friends and my family, they know. Okay? Because there is always a tendency to slide back into the version of yourself that you think other people will find acceptable. I am making a commitment to myself to be my authentic self as much as possible, to show up as me for the rest of my days. Because anything else is just too much work, honey. It's too much work. Too much work to try to be somebody you're not. And if God wanted that person, he already created that person. He needs me to be me. So I pray that you have a blessed night. I pray that you wake up refreshed and restored. I pray that you were blessed by this message. And I pray that you are able to walk in boldly, unashamed in your authentic self. Have an amazing, spirit-led, spirit-filled, blessed night.